5 riffs you need to play on a Strat. Now, it goes without saying that you don't need to play these on a Strat, but if you want to sound like the original, you need to play them on a Strat. So to record this video, I'm using a Victory Kraken amp and my American Standard Strat. Everything's in the neck pickup, and I'm also using a little bit of compression to boost the signal just to get a little bit of drive. So I've got the gain set on pretty much as low as it can go on the channel A, on gain A of the Kraken. So I've boosted it a little bit with a compressor for a little bit more of a dirty sound, but other than that I'm just using this, the compressor and the Kraken. So what I'll do, I'll play through the riffs and then I will show you how to play them, and I'll put timestamps in the description so you can find them. If you enjoy the video, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and yeah, see you later. So first of all, we're going to look at this Stevie Ray Vaughan riff. So here's the riff slowly. So what I'm doing here, I am sliding from the 2nd to the 4th on the G string. Then I'm playing B, E, B, open. Then I'm sliding from the 3rd up to the 5th on the B string, but I'm going to play the B and the high E string. Then I'm going to play that E string. 3 on the B and pull off to open. Then onto the G, 3, slide back to 2, open G, 2nd fret of the D. So. Then I'm going to hit an open E. I've got this chord. So I'm playing 3 of the high E, 3 of the B. The G is muted with this first finger, and I'm playing a 2nd fret of the D string. So you've got the open E, the D, the B and the E. Then we're going to do exactly the same thing. Then I'm going to play an open A. I'm going to bar the 2nd fret with my 1st finger, and then I'm playing the 3rd fret with my middle finger on the high E string. So. Then we're going to play the same as the first part. And then finally we're going to come to a B7 chord. So. Before going back into the E. So I'll take you through this little part one more time, and then I'll show you the picking, because I've tried various different ways of picking this and I found a way which seems to be the easiest, so I'll show you that. So again, on the G string, 2 up to 4 slide, open B, open E, open B, slide on the B string, 3 up to 5, but we're going to hit the B and the E, hit the open E, 3 on the B and pull off to an open, then onto the G string, 3, 2, open, and then 2nd fret of the D string. So now I'll show you the picking. So for the G string, I'm going to use a downstroke. Then I'm going to use an upstroke for the B, to a downstroke on the E, to an upstroke on the B. So then I'm going to use a downstroke for this slide, and then it's all upstrokes. So again, slowly, and just look at the right hand. Okay, and one more time. Downstroke, up, down, up, down, up, 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 up. And it's the same for the other chords. So that's the first one. Now let's have a look at the next one. So now we've got Little Wing by Hendrix. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my little pinky on the 12th fret of the high E and the B. Okay. Then I'm going to use these 4 fingers, no, these 3 fingers, to mute the rest of the strings. So I'm going to mute that. Okay, and then hit the high E and B with an upstroke. Then I'm going to play an open bottom string, mute all the strings and just rake them twice. Then on the A string, open to the 2nd fret, open G, 5 to 7 on the A, to 5 of the D, and then I'm going to play, I'm going to hold this bar here on the 5th fret and hammer down on the 7th of the D. So okay, then I'm going to use my thumb on the low G, 3rd fret, and I'm going to use my first finger here on the high E and the B on the 3rd fret. Play the open G, then I'm going to play the B and the high E, and then I'm going to hammer on down onto the 5th of the high E, and then hit the open G again. So slowly. Then I'm going to play this chord, which is 5 of the D, 4 of the G, 3 of the B. And I'm going to hammer down with my little pinky onto the 5th fret of the G. So. Five of the bottom string. Then I'm going to play 5, 7 on the A, and then 5 of the D and the G. Sorry. Then I'm going to hammer down. So I'm going to bar the 5th on the G and the E and hammer down onto the 7th of the G. So. Then I'm going to bar again here on the 5th fret, and I'm going to play the D and the G, and then hammer down onto the 7th of the D. Then I'm going to play 5, 7 of the A, 5 of the D, and then a little hammer from 5 to 7 on the bottom string. So that bit again. Open E. Then I'm going to play 7 of the G, 8 of the B, and then as I hit that, I'm going to hammer down onto the 10 of the B, and then play that G again. So. Seven of the A, and I'm going to play that note twice. 10 of the A. 7 of the D, and then I'm going to hit a bar again on the 7 on the D and the G, and then I'm going to hit the 9 of the D, back to the 7, 10 of the A, 7 of the A. So. Then I'm going to play a B minor chord, but what I'm doing here, I'm not playing the A string, I'm playing the bottom fret on the 7th, and then the rest of the chord. Then the little pinky is coming under and doing all the work. So 9, 10, 9, then 10 of the B string, and then off. Okay, so do that bit one more time. Hit the bottom string. Then we're going to play a B flat minor, sorry, a B flat major. But again, I'm not going to play the A string. And then an A minor. So let's do that last bit. Okay, then we're going to play this. So this bar is going to stay here on the 5th fret. And I'm going to play 9 of the D and the 5 of the G. So then we're coming down to 7. So 9, 7, open, 8 of the A, and also the 5 of the D, because we're still bowing, and then 7 of the A and 5 of the D. So let's go from the start. then we've got that little bit there. So we're still going to bar, and we're on the 5th fret, and we're going to hit the D and the G, and then we're going to place 5, 7, 5 on the D. Then we're going to hit 5 to 7 on the bottom string. Then we've got the thumb back on here. Now we've got 5 of the D, open G, 5 of the B, and the pinky is going to come down and hit 5 of the high E. So slide it up, back to the 3rd fret, and then down to the 1st. And the thumb is playing that bottom string there. So and by the way, we're sliding here from the 3rd fret to 5, back to 3, down to 1. Then we're going to hit a C major chord. We're going to do this little lick, so down here on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then back to the open G. Power chord on the 5th fret of the A, and then we got this last bit. So barring the 7th fret, I'm just going to play the D and the G. I'm going to hammer down from 7 onto 9 on the D. 7. Then we've got 10 of the A, 7 of the D, 7 on the E and the A, and then we're going to hit the 9 of the A and keep this bar here. So we're going to play the 7 of the D still. So let's do the whole thing slowly. So next up then, Layla, we're going to hit an open A, 3, open D, 3, and that's the hammer on, open D, 3 on the A, and then an open D power chord, and play that chord twice, then a power chord on 3 of the A, down to 1, and then we're going to play open A and 3rd fret on the bottom string. So power chord on 3 of the A, open A to 3rd fret of the bottom string, power chord on 5 of the A. So that's the intro. Play that twice. Then we've got this bit. So on 10 to 13 on the B string, 10 to 13 on the E, back to 10, down to 13 of the B, back to 10 of the E, then I'm going to bend from 13 to 15 on the high E, back down to 13, 12, 13 of the B, and slide up to 15. But don't cock it up like that. And then same again, but this time we're going to bend from 15 to 17 on the high E, down to 15, 12 of the E, 13, slide up to 15 on the B. So slowly. So next up we have chilies, can't stop. So the technique that I'm using on this, I'm using my first finger throughout the whole riff, and I'm literally just placing it on the strings so they don't ring out. So if you're pushing it down and you can hear notes, it's too loud, and if you're hearing open note, then you're not pushing down hard enough. So I'm doing all the work with my middle finger and my little finger pretty much, because my first finger is just barring everything. So I've got the middle finger on the 7th fret of the A, then I've got 7 of the G and 9 of the G, and my first finger, as I say, is just barring everything else. Then I'm going to come down to 5 of the A, and this time we're doing a little slide up. I mean, you can play it there and play the 5 of the B string, but I like to play that little slide. Okay, so then we're going to come down and hit 7 of the bottom string, then 7 and 9 again on the G, and then 8 on the bottom string. So, bit of an unusual technique if you're not used to it. As I say, you can play and play that high E on here on the B string, sorry. But I just think it sounds better all on the same string. So that's that one. And just practice keeping that first finger. And it's quite difficult sometimes when you're putting pressure with the other fingers to not push down with that finger and keep it relaxed and just muting those strings. And then last we have Good Times by Chic. So we've got an E minor 7 chord. Then we're going to put the pinky down on the 10th fret of the B string. Then we've got this chord here, which is 7 of the A, 7 of the D, 7 of the G, 8 of the B. And then we're going to come down to here, which I believe is an A13. So it's basically an A7 chord, and we're going to stick the pinky down on the 7 of the B string. So slowly.